guys, it's Leslie. I'm gonna check out today this watercolor marker set by Winsor Newton. This is a primary set, so I've got yellow, red, and blue. It's lemon yellow, phthalo blue red shade, and I think it's a magenta. Yeah, permanent rose. It's permanent rose. So lemon yellow, permanent rose, and phthalo blue red shade. That's actually a pretty good primary. You can get a good mix with these. Now these pens, these markers, come with two tips. One is like kind of a brush tip. Okay, and the other is a felt tip. Sorry, my tip was a little dry and I just dipped it into some water, and now it works a lot better. Okay, now I played around with these a bit and I have my own opinions about them. They may work for you, they may be exactly what you're looking for. I don't know why these were made. Okay, this is just my own opinion. I love watercolor. I paint almost primarily in watercolor these days. I love watercolor. I also love markers. I love Copic markers. I love markers that layer on top of one another, where you can build deep depth of color and beauty and nuance. And it's like they took two great things and put them together, and what resulted was kind of like, meh, it's alright, I guess. So this is dried now, and you can, with a little bit of agitation, start the mixing process. These work best for blending if you work a little bit quickly and blend them out. But I needed to, okay, I'm working also on a fluids hot press pad. Okay, but as you can see, phthalo blue is staining, and the marker stains quite a bit. Okay, that would create a lot of scrubbing to lift that up in order for there to not be a stain. This is the permanent rose. Okay, blending, but still strokes. Also, the blending together is okay. But there's a lot of encouragement involved. Okay, so let's layer. It's a really bright, beautiful color. Okay, great. Ooh, who gives a shit? And the pigment is not as finely ground or something as it is in tube color. It's more textured, which could be exactly what you're looking for, or maybe not. Okay, now see that didn't spread very much. And this is one of the biggest drawbacks I find to the watercolor markers, is that this level of value that comes directly out of the marker is pretty much the level of value that you're gonna get. Okay? When you're applying color, tube color, and you have it out and mixed, you can add more pigment to your brush and put more pigment down. You can put thicker applications of paint. You are limited to the amount of pigment that is in the marker and that will come out at one time. This is a little bit dry. I can lay over this, but by laying over, I've created more streaks. It will darken it, just like a marker. But unlike watercolor paint, where you can put down a very aggressive first pass of deep, rich, intense, dark color, you can't do that with markers. You have to layer. That blended okay, but there's a texture to this marker that you don't get with Copic markers. Copics go on very, very smooth. I've done Copic tests. I'll put a card up and you can take a look at those. I don't know, these are not helpful for me in any way, except for the one aspect of being able to make graphic marks in watercolor. And this was definitely a benefit, but only if the felt tip and the ability for that paint to go down onto an already painted surface was good, performed better than a regular marker, performed better than a Pigma. If anyone has ever tried outlining a watercolor that's already been painted on, especially a watercolor with multiple layers, you'll know that it's difficult because after a very short period of time, the felt tip gets clogged up. And that was where I found that these were a benefit, is that the tip wasn't so great here. It was a little bit dry, but if I just put the tip into water, unlike a marker, unlike a Copic marker or a Pigma fine liner, the felt tip springs back and becomes much more intense and begins to work again. So that was great for this. I don't have a black. I would like to try a black, and I would like to use the Winsor Newton watercolor markers as basically graphic outliners only. The rest of the applications can be done better with straight watercolor or with a Copic marker, but these get my win for graphic outlining and graphic application on top of existing paintings. That's my experience with them. Please let me know how you like them. If you found a way to work with them much better and much more successfully than I did, please share. We'd all like to know. Thanks for watching.